Chris and I just got back from 20 days of travel. We each used one carry-on bag and one personal item bag. In this video, I'm going to show you everything I brought, tell you what worked really well, and then also talk about some things that I didn't really end up using and some lessons learned and things that I would do differently next time. Okay, first we're going to start with the luggage. So this is what I brought. I brought one personal item bag. This is the Away bag. And then I also brought this carry-on by the brand Antler. So I specifically bought this bag before the trip because it's actually a UK brand. So the size is designed perfectly to fit in a lot of European airline sizer bins. And we actually were able to find quite a few to test out. It's also pretty lightweight for being hard shell, and we used this on 5 or 6 flights. I think it held up pretty well. It definitely has a few scuffs and some marks, but I have not made any attempt to clean this up at all, so I'm pretty confident that it'll clean up pretty nicely. I decided for this trip to go with the clamshell style design for a few reasons. One of them was because I asked you guys to vote and you actually picked this one. And on this trip, we stayed in 6 different hotels, and for a lot of packing and unpacking and packing up again and unpacking again, the clamshell does kind of work pretty good in those instances. So this performed really well and I'm really happy with it. I'll talk more about it in a future video. And for my personal item bag, this is the Everywhere bag by Away. I really liked how this performed, and Chris liked it so much from my last trip that he actually bought one for himself. So I'm gonna show you everything that I packed inside a little bit later. Now let's unpack. I'm gonna start with this guy. All right, so I've not unpacked anything yet. I did grab my toothbrush, but I put it back. Other than that, I have not taken anything out. I even have some souvenirs that I brought back, so I'll go over those as well, because everyone always asks me how I have room for souvenirs, and I do, so I'll show you those too. So as you can see, I have one packing cube here. This is from Tripped, who I love. And then I also have another one tucked away in here. But you'll notice that I didn't use a full packing cube system. I did a bit of a hybrid system. Don't mind Miley back there. Everything is just kind of randomly packed in because when I'm on the way home, I don't care where everything is. I just care that it fits and my suitcase closes. So this is a souvenir. This is a souvenir. I'm just gonna start unpacking things in front of you, and then I'll go over what I was happy about packing and what I wish I didn't bring. People are weird on the internet, and I'm not showing my bras and underwear, sorry. So these are all the clothes. Oh, and also my travel outfit, which I didn't pack because I was always wearing these pieces during like travel days. So I brought my Lululemon joggers, my half zip, and then my merino wool t-shirt. A few videos ago, I did make a pack with me for Europe video. And so if you watch that, you'll notice that I did make a few changes, and that's what I'm gonna talk about here. Okay, now I've organized this a little bit based on bottoms, layers, and tops. So I ended up bringing 2 pairs of shorts and 1 pair of jeans and 1 pair of these wide jeans. They're basically jeggings. I loved these. I am so happy I brought these. They pack down super light, but they don't look like leggings. They actually looked like jeans. And I wore these out a lot in the evenings when I wanted to be a little bit dressier, but they could also be dressed down if you wanted to. And because they're wide leg and flowy, they weren't hot at all, even if it was a bit of a warmer night. So I was really happy with these. Then I did bring a pair of jeans. These are one of my most comfy favorite pair of jeans. Everybody's like, don't bring jeans to Europe. I think it depends where you're going. We went to Central Europe. We definitely had some hot days, which is when I wore the shorts. But again, on some evenings, it was a little bit cooler. So I definitely wore these and have no regrets. And then I brought 2 pairs of shorts, a pair of black ones that could be dressed up or dressed down, and a pair of denim shorts because that's kind of just my style. I'm happy that I brought only 2 pairs of shorts. That's really all that I needed. So for bottoms, I ended up bringing 4 bottoms. You don't have to copy this exact setup, but I brought 2 pairs of shorts and 2 pants, as well as joggers, which is what I wore on the planes and the trains that we took, and on a couple of sightseeing and hiking days. So for the bottoms part, I was really happy with the setup that I brought. I didn't feel like I was missing anything, and I definitely didn't overpack. Okay, now let's move on to the t-shirts and tank tops. I ended up bringing 3 tank tops, and that was because I noticed the weather was getting increasingly warmer the closer we checked the forecast. I am glad that I brought 3 tank tops. I wore the heck out of all of these, so those were definitely much needed. The Oilers shirt, I normally wouldn't have brought this, but they were in the Stanley Cup Finals. We had to show our support abroad, so it had to be done. Now, the t-shirts, I definitely overpacked a little bit. I basically ended up bringing 2 black t-shirts and a white t-shirt and a cream colored t-shirt. We ended up doing laundry. It was so easy. I easily could have just brought 1 white t-shirt and 1 black t-shirt. And then onto the layers, I'm really happy that I brought my black long sleeve shirt. This merino wool, like light sweater, I threw in last minute. I'm very happy that I did. This cream color cardigan, I wore this a lot. This was also great for my conference as well, so I'm very happy I brought that. This is a kind of like t-shirt cardigan. I didn't wear this once, so kind of regret packing that. And then this was my half zip. This is another merino wool piece. Loved this, super comfy, and I wore this on all my travel days, as well as some cooler rainy days. Now, the things that I am happiest about that I packed were my merino wool clothes. My favorite brand is Unbound Merino, and they're actually the sponsor of today's video. I actually hit them up before this trip because I love their clothing, and I asked them if they wanted to sponsor a video, and thankfully they said yes. And this stuff was amazing on my trip. One of the reasons why merino wool is really good for travel is because the material is temperature regulating. So it keeps you warm when you need to be warm, and it also keeps you cool when you don't want to be that hot. It's crazy how it works, but I promise you it does. There were multiple nights where we were walking back to our hotel after a show or dinner and it was dark out, and I distinctly remember thinking that like I should be a little cooler than I am because this isn't very thick. They're quite thin, so they pack down super light, and this definitely kept me warm. And on the other side of things, when we're transferring terminals on our flight connections, you know, sometimes you're huffing it through the airport. I was also wearing this, and once we finally sat down, I felt like I should have been warmer than I was. But again, it just regulates your temperature, and there's some magic behind it, I swear. And then for the t-shirts, another benefit of merino wool for travel is that they're odor resistant. So you can wear these several days in a row without having to wash them. And so when you don't have access to laundry, that makes it super easy for travel. And also, when people think wool, they think thick and heavy and scratchy. This merino wool is not that at all. It's come a long way, I think, in the last several years. Like like Unbound Merino makes ultra light clothing as well. Like this is super thin. This is really flowy. Like this is so nice to wear. It doesn't get hot at all. Now these are advertised as wrinkle free, and I know it doesn't look like it right now, but once you put them on, the wrinkles disappear. It's something to do with your body temperature and the natural fibers, but once you wear this for about half an hour to an hour, the wrinkles are gone, I promise. All right, now a few more things. I did bring 2 t-shirt pajama tops. These are 100% cotton, just t-shirts. Same with 1 pair of pajama bottoms. And then I also ended up packing a pair of my Lululemon athletic shorts. I threw these in last minute because again, it was gonna be hot out. I'm glad I brought them. They don't take up too much space. And I ended up wearing them as pajamas a couple of times when I was washing my bottoms. And another thing I'm happy I brought was my ultralight rain jacket. This packs up really flat into its own little pouch, so you can literally bring it anywhere. I'll show you what this is. Here you go. Boom. I wore this a few times. It also helped with the wind, so definitely glad I brought that. Now I want to talk about some non-clothing things that I was glad I brought or didn't end up needing. So the hair tool, yes, 100%. I will always bring this with me. I love it. It works awesome. The travel slippers, these are amazing. I will never travel without. The Birkenstock sandals, I definitely wore these quite a few times, so I'm glad I brought those. I only wore these once or twice, and I felt like I wore them just because I packed them. I could have got away without these. So next time I would definitely only bring my Birkenstock sandals. And I forgot to mention my shoes. These were my daily drivers. I wore these every single day. They are dirty. I haven't cleaned them up at all yet. They were so comfortable. We had multiple days where we walked over 20,000 steps, sometimes 25,000, and these were awesome. And I feel like they're kind of cute too, so I could wear them with shorts or my long pants or my jeans. And if I had a cute dress, I feel like I could match them with that too.
Cute.
I like them. They're kind of retro, but they're in right now, so. And then in this packing cube, like I said, I brought one bathing suit. I've got some pairs of socks in here and a bra, and I've got other pairs of socks and undies in that other packing cube that I showed you earlier. I ended up packing 8 pairs of socks and wearing a 9th pair. Big mistake, I way overpacked. I could have easily packed 4 pairs of socks and worn a 5th pair. We ended up doing sink laundry every few days. Took us half an hour out of our day. It was no big deal. And once you do sink laundry, once you do it once or twice, it just becomes like an autopilot thing. It's so easy to do. T-shirts, socks, undies, bras, no big deal. And actually in one hotel, we ended up having double sinks. So we did lights and darks at the same time. It was great. So I think for any trip going forward, even if it's only 7 days, I'm packing 4 pairs of socks and 4 pairs of underwear, and that is it, because sink laundry is just super easy to do. I have a belt. I wore that, so I'm happy I brought that. The heatless curls I didn't use. That's okay. They're light, don't take up that much space. Now I want to talk about toiletries. All right, so these were my liquids that I brought. I really liked this bag by Tripped. It's got this little hook here. It comes undone, so you can literally hang it from anywhere, which is great for tight spaces. I'm not going to show you everything that I brought, but just some examples. I decant some of my liquids into these 1-ounce dropper bottles. That works really well. And then of course, I've got my liquids pouches with hair things and face wash and all that type of stuff. So that works out really well. I even brought some souvenirs back that are liquids that go in here. For example, this is, I think, apricot moonshine from Austria. So there you go. And pro tip, I always just pack everything into this Ziploc bag just for that extra protection. Now for some dry goods or interesting toiletries that I'm really glad that I brought a suction hook. This was awesome for when there was no counter space and I could hang either one of these bags. This is my deodorant. I promise you it worked. It is a solid, this looks like an ice cube, and I did not get flagged at all. There was no problem with this. This thing works great. All you do is wet it and then it works awesome. So I will always use this going forward. My little Olay face wash melts, or whatever they're called. I only have a few left. These worked out really well. I'm glad I brought those. This is my powdered dry shampoo, because if you have an aerosol dry shampoo, that counts as a liquid. So I always travel with this. I love this brand. My toothpaste tablets. These are awesome. You get used to them. It's a little bit weird, but to eliminate a liquid, it's such a good idea. And then these compressible or compressed towels. I'm not really sure what you call them. They're like little tablets, and you just add a little bit of water to them and they become essentially like face cloths or cloths that you can use to wipe. If you've traveled to Europe, you know that there are never any face cloths and there's usually never enough towels, or there's never paper towel in the places that you stay, so those do come in handy. And then of course the most important thing are the laundry sheets. So we just pack these into a Ziploc and you just tear off half a sheet, throw that into the sink when you're filling it with warm water, give it a bit of a mix and it gets all sudsy. It works really well, and I think that it actually makes our whites even brighter, so that was kind of a bonus. I also brought some pimple patches as well. Those are actually good for not just pimples, but also little insect bites too. And then of course, toothbrush and floss, and I've got tweezers and some lip balm in here, a couple makeup things in here. I did pack a razor, but I just threw that in the garbage after our last hotel because I didn't need it. And that's pretty much all my toiletries. Okay, let me get this cleaned up and cleared off, and then we're gonna move on to my personal item. He's actually filming. We're just gonna do this. Ta-da. Miley's like, what are you doing, Mom? What's that? So, let me show you everything that I packed in here. First, this is the purse that I ended up bringing. I've featured this on my channel before. I love this as a travel purse. It's got the nice big middle section, but then also 2 zippered pockets for safety. And so inside, like normally I would just carry my sunglasses case and my sunglasses, some hair clips, and then I've got my wallet in here. For paying for things, we used our Wise account. This was really handy when you're paying in different currencies. We ended up having to use the forint in Hungary, euros in Austria, and crowns in the Czech Republic. So if you have a Wise account, you can set up different bank accounts for different countries. And then when you use your debit card with Wise, this is basically a debit card, or you can add it to your Google Wallet or Apple Pay, so you can just use your phone to tap to pay. When you pay, it will pull from the currency that you're in, so the exchange fees and everything are as low as possible, and there's no issues with conversion. Okay, and then next I brought my eye mask. I always travel with this thing, I love it. I have my cork lacrosse ball for massaging out sore muscles and knots. Love this thing. This is my reusable tote bag. It's unfolded right now. Normally this would be folded up into a little square like this big. I just have some souvenirs in here to carry home. I'll show you those later on. And then this is my tech bag that I was also able to use as a travel sling as well. This one's from Nomad Lane, and I actually put all of my tech gear in here, and I'll show you that in a second. But what I love about this system is that it transports all my tech, keeps everything together, but then on days where I wanted to be a little more casual and not bring my purse, I could just empty everything out of this and use a sling bag. I'll show you what I brought inside. My film camera. What year is this from?
1962.
1962?
Or 65.
Or 65. Anyway, we took 3 rolls of film on this. 4 rolls of film on this trip, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be really fun. My travel power adapter, my noise canceling earbuds, Bluetooth adapter for the plane in-flight entertainment to connect to your earbuds that you bring, and a short USB cord for my power bank, which I would bring with me traveling, when we were exploring every day. So I just keep this in my purse because I'm taking lots of video with my phone, and we're checking maps and stuff like that. So it definitely eats the battery. So this is a must-have. I also brought my little tripod. This thing is so great. And what else? A couple cords, my neck lanyard for my phone. That was it. And then moving on to what else I brought in my bag. I have my sunscreen stick so that I can use that on the plane. Some electrolyte packets. We like Element. And then I've got some more, oh, these are like face wash things for cleaning up, some body wipes, some Band-Aids. I brought another pair of sunglasses. I didn't end up wearing them. I could have got away with just one pair of sunglasses. And I think if you end up losing them or something like that, it's just fun to buy another pair. I didn't need a second pair. Some more souvenirs and a pen. And then in this pocket, but I've got my laptop in here, and I brought this for some cash and passport. And that's it. So now let me show you the souvenirs that we brought back. All right, so everyone always asks about, what about bringing back souvenirs when you're traveling light and carry-on only? Well, here's an example. This is what I was able to bring back. I've got 2 cute little mugs here, and they made it home safely. And then I brought back apricot liqueur, a couple of chocolate bars. These are from Austria. And then these magnets were just super cute in Budapest. You know, we're into film photography, and I just love these images. And then some beer cosmetics. We've got lip balm and 2 different kinds of beer soap from Prague. And Chris brought back a couple more things, so he'll show you those. But I mean, that's a pretty good haul for when you're traveling light, so I'm really happy with what we brought back. And now we're gonna switch places, and Chris is gonna show you everything that he packed for this trip.
Man stuff!
Oh, that scared Miley.
Oh no! Okay, so now I'm going to show you everything I brought. I like packing as light as possible, and probably could have gone even lighter on this trip. So I'm using the Away, what's this thing called?
Away Everywhere bag?
The Away Everywhere bag and the standard Monos carry-on. I had to match. It's my thing. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let me get into these, and I'll show you everything that I brought. Starting with the personal item. I really like this bag because it opens up super wide so I can see everything that's in there, which is exactly the same way my camera bag works, which is why I really like that too. So I'm a fan of the bag in the bag system for my camera gear. Just gives it that extra layer of protection, and then I can use a smaller camera bag when I'm actually traveling day to day. So obviously Ali is holding the camera, but everything in here is all of my camera gear, everything that I bring for the trip. I've had people say, hey, that's cool that you guys pack light, but what about your camera gear? Like, are you just faking it? And it's like, we are not. So my main camera is the Sony a6700 APS-C camera, and paired with it is the Sigma 18-55 f2.8 zoom lens. This package is small, lightweight, and it is a workhorse. That's 98% of the shots that we do on all of our 4K 60 FPS footage is shot with that camera lens combo. Some other stuff in my kit, we use a couple lav mics from Hollyland when we're shooting on location, and then I also keep a, in addition to this 18-50 lens, I've also got a Sony 11mm wide angle lens that's on the camera right now. I really like it. It's wide without creating too much distortion. If you guys have any questions on camera gear or settings or anything like that, leave a comment in the comments and I will respond to all of them. I love talking about camera stuff.
He does.
Okay, so now for some extra camera gear in here, I've got, you know, some cleaning wipes, some extra attachments for the microphones, a small lens pen, and then an additional little setup for a pair of spare batteries and spare memory cards. I actually didn't end up needing any extra batteries, so I think in the future I might actually dump these spares just for a USB-C powered Sony battery. Okay, and the rest of the personal item, I've got my Steam Deck for playing video games on the plane or when we're just chilling in the hotel room. Charging accessories for everything include this compact wall charger. It's 65 watts, so it gives me enough power to power Ali's laptop, my Steam Deck, camera batteries, fast charging, as well as an additional fast charger for a phone and a USB-A for everything else. I've got a couple long cables and my headphones, Bluetooth earbuds from Soundcore. I really like these. They're active noise canceling. Small glasses cleaning cloth and my sunglasses case. And I've also got 4 rolls of film. In my opinion, this is the only way to transport film when you're flying, is in a clear Ziploc bag. And when you get to security, before you put everything in your bin, you're gonna ask the agent that's working that lane for a hand check. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna take this, they're gonna take it around the x-ray machine so it doesn't go in, they're gonna swab it, put the swab in a little sensor machine, it's gonna think for a second, and then it's going to be good to go. They're gonna give it back to you. You're gonna need to witness this while it's happening, so you're gonna have to go through security, and then they're gonna flag you and ask, hey, whose film is this? You're gonna go through that process. That prevents it from going through the x-ray machine, potentially fogging your film, which is an issue. Not so much on older x-ray machines, but on the newer CT machines that a lot of European airports and larger US airports are implementing. A couple times through that, you're gonna get some noise and some hazing on your film. You don't want that to happen. Got a couple lens cleaning cloths for camera stuff, body wipes, and some element packets in there. Ooh, I've got the eye mask that I yanked from the airplane because I like this one. Side pocket. I've got a whole bunch of stickers and brochures that I hoarded from everywhere we went, and then I keep my wallet and my passport in this pocket when we're going through security and boarding, just so it's easy access. Almost got it. Okay, so for my main luggage, this was a brand new Monos carry-on. It's definitely got some battle damage, but that'll wipe out nicely. I like this one because it uses this compression thing, which actually works surprisingly well. So let me get into my clothes and show you what I've got here. Okay, so I've got a little bit of trade show merch. Okay, so for my clothes, I've got, in addition to what I'm wearing, this is what I wore on the plane, I've got 2 black t-shirts, 2 white t-shirts, my Oilers t-shirt, sad, 3 pairs of shorts, and 1 extra pair of jeans, which I'm glad I brought because I exploded some poached egg all over it, don't ask. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of underpants, 2 extra pairs of socks, my pair of Oilers socks, sad, and that's it. Honestly, I believe I packed way too much clothes. So next time I actually want to challenge myself because sink laundry was so easy. I only want to bring 2 of everything, 1 to wash, 1 to wear. So 2 tops, 2 bottoms, 2 pairs of underpants, 2 pairs of socks, and that's it. Okay, so in addition to clothes, in the stuff section, we'll start with the outside pocket. I've got just a few accessories, the extra USB-A accessory cable, just in case. I've also got a hero clip in case I've got to strap anything to my luggage, some extra elements just in case. I like to keep a desk compactor or 2 in my carry-on, like just in case you end up with like a wet bathing suit or something like that in there, that this will take care of that. Extra charger, I got this one just in case the other one didn't fit properly in a hotel room or in the airport chargers. You got to have power. And earplugs. These are loop knockoffs actually. These actually work quite well. I'm a pretty light sleeper. I need to have a fan on and white noise, and if someone makes 1 peep, I'm waking up. These came in clutch. A couple more souvenir things. Okay, so in this side, I've got my toiletry case. This is the tripped one, same thing. Hook it on a towel rack. Super easy, lightweight. I go pretty light with my toiletries, travel toothbrush, toothpaste, spare set of contact lenses, shaving cream, hairspray, because like, you know, obviously, deodorant, contact lens solution, couple extra contact lens cases because I always end up leaving one somewhere, and then a couple bottles of the whatever beer stuff that Ali got from Prague. In addition to that, a couple some more trade show merch, my shaving kit, which is just a beard trimmer and Mach 3 razor. That's my favorite. A couple extra pairs of socks, travel adapter. This is a little watch case. I brought a couple extra watches with me. I didn't need these. I think bringing 3 watches was kind of ridiculous, but I'm kind of a watch nerd, so I brought those. Glasses in their case. JBL speaker for jamming out. Couple extra pairs of socks, hot pink pineapple swim shorts. This is a green bomber jacket you've probably seen me wear in multiple videos. This is probably my new favorite hoodie. This is super lightweight. This is really all I needed, even down to about 10 degrees or 52 degrees Fahrenheit. This actually came in pretty good. It's just to have an extra layer was more than enough. And these are my flip-flops. Pretty basic set of reef flip-flops. I didn't really use these. I could have got away without bringing them. I did wear them at the thermal baths in Budapest. Next time I think I'm gonna bring an extra thin pair of like slippers or something like that for the plane and for bumming around the hotel room. These actually fit perfectly in this tripped packing bag. I'm not sure what this is actually supposed to be for, but these fit a size 13 flip-flop perfectly. I've also got my trusty little Gorilla Pod. This doubles as either a selfie stick, kind of short, but it doubles as a selfie stick, or a tripod for super uneasy terrain if you're putting it on rocks or something like that. This comes in clutch every time, and it's super small and lightweight. And that's it. That's all my stuff. In addition to a couple souvenirs, I managed to snag these from a bar in Prague. These are porcelain beer mats. You couldn't find these anywhere, but they let me take a couple, so like that was super awesome. I love these. These are great. They're like a super cool ceramic coaster, and I've never seen anything like it before, and I love them. Also,
they catch the beer foam.
They catch the beer foam. I also got this cool Czech Crest bottle opener. Hey, Czechia beer kind of makes sense. As well as my Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 socks. I really like these because I'm a nerd. And the beer body wash that Allie made me take in mine because I had the extra space.
Yay.
Very cool. And that's it. That's everything. Overpacked slightly, didn't need the extra jacket. I could have gotten away with probably half the clothes that I brought. I will be seeing how small we can go here in the future, so stay tuned for that.
So, that's everything we brought.
I'm too tall for this.
Anyway, I hope that you guys found this video helpful. I know it was a little unscripted and a little more behind the scenes than what we normally do, but that's just kind of how we roll. So I hope this setup helps you pack for your next trip. And a big thanks to Unbound Merino for sponsoring this video. I forgot to mention the shirt is also Unbound Merino. I wear it all the time because it's super comfortable. And if you want to know about anything that we talked about in the video, be sure to check the comments. I've left all the links below, or you can also scan the QR code. That'll take you to my blog post where I've listed everything out in order. And I guess that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.